Welcome to the EditMate channel. I'm Film Director Leef Parks, and today I'm giving you the ultimate guide to filming with just your phone. Let's get into it. Now, when you think about filming, you normally think about really big cameras with really complicated settings. But most phones today come with cameras that can create incredible videos. No matter what phone you have, whether you have one camera, two, or three cameras, you'll be able to do everything you learned today with just the camera phone that you have. The first thing we need to learn how to do is how to use our phone and how to use our camera to the best of its capabilities. First, let's dive into the camera quality. Most phone cameras today film at 4K and at the very least at 1080p. Both will produce great work for you. I'd say you can't go wrong with either option, but to be safe, while you're on your phone, filming at 4K does give you the best possible quality. If your phone goes higher, I'd suggest filming at that rate, but just keep in mind that those are bigger files for your phone. So if your phone can't handle those type of files, your memory will fill up quick if you shoot exclusively in 4K or at a higher frame rate. But if you have a bunch of storage, you have nothing to worry about. Next, let's talk frame rate. Frame rate is the amount of frames per second that your video is capturing. All a video is a compilation of photos, believe it or not. So in this case, the term frames per second is pretty self-explanatory. If you're shooting at 24 frames per second, that's literally 24 individual images being captured per second that you're shooting. There's 24 frames a second, 30 frames a second, and 60 frames a second. Each of these are used for different things. Most times when you're filming at 24 or 30 frames per second, you're filming someone talking, something happening in real time that you don't need to slow down, that you want to capture actually how it's happening and the motion in which it's happening. Now, when you're filming with a camera, you normally want to use 24 frames a second. But surprisingly enough, when you use your phone, most of the things you see on the internet or most of the videos that you see on the internet are at 30 frames per second. Natively, your phone records at 30 frames per second opposed to 24 frames per second because it just looks better on your actual phone device. So to stay true to your native phone and the quality of your phone, filming at 30 frames per second is ideal. Now let's talk about 60 frames a second. When you're filming at 60 frames a second, it's almost exclusively for B-roll. If you don't know what B-roll is, you can check out one of our previous videos on B-roll. Now, just like it sounds, when you're filming at 60 frames a second, you're literally taking 60 images per second for the video, which results in a much sharper image. It also allows you the option to slow down your footage. The reason why you're able to slow down this footage is because of the amount of frames per second that it's capturing. Being that you have so many frames, it's offering a much sharper image quality. Having these many options and knowing how to use them gives you the opportunity to create a variety of different types of video. Another great feature most phones have is locking your exposure and your focus. When you're filming a subject or filming an interview, you oftentimes want to lock in on your focus and you want to lock in on your exposure. When your exposure is moving around a lot, you may think it's nice because it's technically always right in the right areas, but it can be really distracting in your final product of your video. By default, when you go to your camera app, it's already on autofocus and auto exposure. In order to lock it, you need to hold the screen for a few seconds until it blinks and you'll see a sign on the top of your phone that says AE lock or AE/AF lock, which means the focus and the exposure is locked. Once it's locked, you'll be able to adjust your exposure by moving the dial up or down. But once you lock in your focus, be sure to stay the same distance away from your subject so that they stay in focus. Now let's talk about those phone limitations. Whether you have 3 cameras or 1, you're still able to achieve the same type of things with that camera. With 3 cameras, you can get up close, a normal shot, and really, really wide from standing in the exact same place. Now, if you only have 1 camera or even 2 cameras, you may have to move closer or further from your subject in order to get a wide variety of shots. This way, no matter if you have 1 camera or 3 cameras, you'll still be able to get a wide variety of shots so that your video isn't stagnant and that it isn't boring. Now that we know the basic settings of utilizing our phones, let's dive into a few more things that will help improve your video quality. One of the things that could ruin your video no matter how well you shoot it is how it sounds. Our phone cameras have pretty good quality, but there's a way to improve that quality, and that's by using a mic. Lav mics, shotgun mics, they all have different purposes, but they all can come in handy to create a beautiful video. When recording something like an interview or someone talking, you'll want to use a lav mic. Lav mics are great because they're small and they hook directly to whoever is talking. That way, they're always able to get what they're saying and not any outside noises. Now, a shotgun mic could also come in handy, but it's more useful because it gets very directional sound. Whatever direction your shotgun mic is pointing is what it'll capture for the most part. But it's better for ambiance and trying to capture the sound of an environment. Both are used for different things, but they're even better in tandem. Next, we'll talk about gimbals and tripods. Just like the two different types of mics, these two different stabilizers give you different options depending upon what you're filming. No matter what, there's nothing worse than shaky footage. It's distracting, it's hard to focus on, and it's just not enjoyable to watch. If you're recording an interview or recording someone talking or just trying to focus on a single subject, using a tripod is probably best. If you're capturing B-roll or any type of movement where you're having to move the camera or walk, a gimbal is perfect. A gimbal allows you to get extremely smooth footage with just your phone, and the price point that it comes in makes it a very worthwhile investment. Outside of stabilization and making sure it sounds good, you need lights. Whether it be sunlight or artificial light, a dark video is distracting and kind of boring. Having good light allows your phone to perform at its maximum capability. That means no graininess, no blurriness, and no darkness.
No matter if you're using natural light or practical light, how you use that light is always important. In this shot, the sun is behind me. It creates a shadow on my face and is a lot less flattering. But in this shot, as you can see, the light is on my face now and there's a little bit of shadow creating more character, and that's because the sun is on the side of us now. Use this same rule with any light you may have if it's practical or if it's natural light.
Now that we know how to utilize our phones and have the gear to give us the best possible video quality, the only thing left to do is complete that film with storytelling. Every video should tell a story. In order to tell that story through film, you have to move with intention. We call that filming for the edit. The first step when I approach any video is the planning process. Planning and figuring out what you're shooting and why you're shooting it makes it easier to film overall. It's also much more likely to give you the end result that you're looking for. For example, when I go out to plan a shoot, I have a specific process that I use to help me get everything that I need for that shoot. Now, it does change depending upon what you're shooting, but these few steps pretty much cover any video I can be trying to do. First thing I want to do is get my A shot. My A shot is my main shot, the one I'm trying to get, the thing that everything is centered around. In this case, this would be my A shot. All of my other shots complement this shot. The next thing I want to do is get shot variation, so that my video isn't boring and stagnant in the same look all the time. I make sure that I get a few different shots so that I have the option. Within those shot variations, especially for B-roll, it's a close-up shot, a wide shot, and a medium shot. And I get 3 of each. Just doing that makes your film automatically a lot more appealing, a lot more interesting, and it gives your viewer insight to exactly what you're wanting them to see. Now that we've covered using our phones and storytelling, I do want to share a few more tips to help you with your videos. When filming, try to have a defining subject in your film. Without this, your films could feel lost and aimless. But when you have a defining subject that you're following, or a story that you're trying to tell that is specific, you're able to zero in on that, and it helps you figure out exactly what shots you're trying to get and what shots you should get. Most times when we shoot with our phones, we're tempted to try to record everything in one single video, but that's just not how films are made. As a matter of fact, it'll seem like you have more coverage on your final result if you record the same thing from multiple angles and multiple aspects. Also, no matter if you're filming inside or outside, try to use natural patterns and leading lines to help your film look more cohesive and cinematic. Lastly, if you really want to up your game, add depth to your shots. When I say this, I mean use foreground and use background to make your images look more appealing. It's one thing to film something straight on, but it's another thing to reveal what you're filming through some foreground up into what you're actually wanting your audience to see. With all these tips, you'll be filming like a pro in no time. Not only that, you'll see a drastic improvement in your final results and your editors will love you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if it has helped in any way, be sure to leave a comment below. From myself and your friends at EditMate, peace.